Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing out there? I hope you've had a lovely week. So, week 3 of the live yoga sessions, I hope you're getting used to them. Do send me messages, let me know what the sound quality is like, etc. And anything that you want me to carry on doing with the next few sessions as well. I'll let you kind of send me a bit of input if there's any poses in particular. But today we're going to do quite a lot of work on lateral lines, so a little bit of flexion from side to side, quite a lot of rotational stuff, and a fair bit of back strengthening and abdominal strengthening stuff. So there will be some standing poses, but we'll do quite a bit of work from our mats today. So as always, make sure that you've got a drink of water. Make sure that you've got plenty of space around you and that you're at a nice comfortable temperature. Obviously there's no music being played, but if you do want to have some kind of music in the background, put some nice yoga or some ambient music on if you like that. But we're going to do a little bit of breathing and mobility work to start with. I am a bit croaky today. I had a singing session last night, back to band practice, which was great, but my voice is hammered today. So if I start croaking, that's the reason. But just come down. Let's just have another quick look, see if I can see who's in the room. It's not as easy as on Facebook. I can normally see messages, but on YouTube, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, fire messages at me and I'll keep checking, see if I can see anything coming up on the screen. But come down slow, hug your knees up, let your back just sink and just have a little fidget, get comfortable. Just be aware of how your body's feeling at this moment, whether you're feeling quite tired, if you've got any pain, any aches anywhere. You might be feeling great, so just notice that feeling. And then let your arms and legs drop to the floor. Now start just with your hands down and your feet planted. And just have a little fidget, so you're kind of rolling and connecting with your lower back. You're trying to broaden and sink into your mid back and your shoulder girdle. Okay, and then let your arms rotate outwards, so the palms are facing up, backs of the arms are heavy. Straighten your legs to the bottom of your mat if that's comfortable. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. And feel the legs rotate slightly outwards as well. Okay, and then just notice how you feel in terms of symmetry, left and right side. Do you feel heavier on one side? Do you perhaps feel longer on one side? You might have a slight tilt in the pelvis or a tip in the shoulders. So if you do feel a little bit different, just try and adjust yourself so you feel quite centered. Let your head roll gently from left to right. Find your neutral neck, so you feel as if you've got even space, left and right side, front and back of the neck. And then just take 2 really big breaths, so almost like 2 huge sighs. So you're going to inhale fully through the nose or the mouth, whatever's comfortable. And just let that breath out. Just do that a couple more times. So big inhale. Okay, now start to just feel your breath come away from the upper body. We want to breathe abdominally if possible. So rib cage and below rather than chest, shoulder girdle. If it helps, you can place the hands, one hand below the belly button, the other hand on the breastplate, and you're trying not to move the hand that's on the breastplate. Yeah, we only want to feel the movement low. And just start to feel that breath get nice and big, nice and even. So we're inhaling fully, we're pausing, we're exhaling fully, and we're pausing. And we're just going to take a minute just to feel that we're energizing the body as we breathe in. And we're releasing any feeling of clenching or squeezing our muscles as we breathe out. We tend to do this without realizing sometimes. So imagine your body's just melting into the ground. And we'll just take a good minute. Okay, now just swallow to relax the throat. If you've got your eyes closed, you're going to gently open them. And on your next breath, we're going to start to reach the arms out and back as far as they'll comfortably go at this point. Push out through your feet and just stretch out through each limb. So one arm at a time, one leg at a time. Nice, easy stretch. Okay, and we're going to take another deep breath in, but as we exhale this time, your arms are going to flop in and you're going to walk your feet halfway up towards you. Push quite firmly into the soles of the feet, kind of brace from heel to toe, and just get your pelvis rocking, just nice and easy, rolling forwards and back. Okay, get this movement going. Now we're going to do our pelvic floor with movement today. So we normally do it either in a static position, cobbler's pose or reclined, and you can do pelvic floor exercises in any position. But a good tip is to try and do it in a variety of positions, not just do it in the same place every time. So we're going to do it with a bit of movement. So as you're rocking your pelvis in, I want you to squeeze your buttock muscles, but I also want you to lift up through your pelvic floor. And then as you roll your hips away, you're relaxing. Yeah, so always think about switching muscles on, switching them off, or drawing them up and then letting them go. And we're just going to get a nice, easy rhythm going. So it's a pelvic tilt. Think of your pelvis as your bucket, tip out the back, tip out the front. But as we're doing that rolling action, as we're mobilizing, we're also firing up our glute muscles, our buttock muscles, and we're trying to engage pelvic floor just to wake them up. Yeah, they're muscles that can be a little bit switched off, a little bit slow to respond. So we just want to get them firing. We want to wake them up, give them some input. And the easiest way to do that to any muscle is to just be mindful of it, just pay attention to it, whether that's thinking about it or visualizing it, or even placing your hand onto a specific muscle. As soon as we do that, our brain instantly sends more input there. It kind of heightens it, if you like. So you can use it for any muscle group that you want to be kind of rehabbing. For example, if there's a muscle that you know needs to be working more and it tends not to be, then just by paying more attention to it, sometimes that can help to switch it on, to get those receptors working a little bit more efficiently. Okay, so keep this rocking action going. We're going to bring the feet a little bit closer up now. And we're going to start to move all the way up and down the spine. So we're still engaging glutes and pelvic floor. It's a bigger, slower movement now. So almost think about trying drawing up, pausing for a moment, and then relaxing to the bottom. I'm going to move my arms out the way, just in case anyone needs to see the movement, if you're quite new to the class. But otherwise, arms can be wherever they're comfortable. But we're trying to feel now that we're rolling up through the spine, vertebrae at a time. So you're starting the movement from the tailbone, sacrum, lumbar, mid, upper back, and then we lower upper, mid, lumbar, sacrum, tailbone. So we've kind of got that rolling action going nice and smoothly. And just notice what's going on with your neck. Check that you're not squashing your throat by squeezing your chin down towards your chest. Upper body should feel quite relaxed. Okay, we'll do a couple more and then we're going to hold this as a stretch. So remember, if you are new to the class, just work at your own pace. If I'm doing anything that you think is going to aggravate an injury, or if it just doesn't feel right, don't do it. Let me know. You can always send me a message. I'll read through all the comments. But if in doubt, if it feels painful, then stop. We'll just do an easier version, a gentler version. If you know the movements, some of you guys have been coming to me for years now, feel free, you know the full versions of some of these moves, so feel free to push straight up there. Right, so on this one we're going to hold it as your stretch. We lift the hips as high as we can. We're tipping out the back of our bucket. If you've got the range, you can start coming up to tiptoes. Bring the feet a little closer in so you can really get that drive. You can use your arms to support, bracing and lifting, or you can even grab hold of your ankles and pull against your shins. But we're pushing our hips up, tipping back out the pelvis. Knees are staying hip distance. Shoulders and upper body should feel comfortable. Nice big breaths. We're stretching this front line, but we're trying to target hip flexors, quads, or strengthen the back line. Okay, and when you're ready to come out slow, untuck your shoulders, lower from neck to tail. As soon as your lower back hits the ground, we're going to hug the knees up, across your ankles and just ease them into your chest as far as they'll comfortably go. So we're not trying to force any of these stretches. We're easing the body into it. The body holds on to us for about 8 seconds. It's a stretch reflex action that we all do. It's an instinctive thing to protect us. So after those initial few seconds, you should find that your body relaxes into it. That's when you can start to go deep. You can pull yourself a little deeper, or you can push yourself a little deeper. Okay, now just have a bit of a massage here. Just kind of rock. Work the lower back into the floor. Should feel really nice to do this. Okay, and then grab the backs of your thighs, extend your legs up to the ceiling, support your legs with your arms. Start to move your ankles, pointing and flexing. Okay, circle the feet out, roll them away. Okay, circle back in. Wave the feet from left to right. And then just let your ankles go floppy. Keep holding the thighs for a bit of support, but start to work your knees, so bending and extending. Some of your toes pointed. And then push up through the heels. Okay, relax the lower legs, grab the tops of your knees, and we're going to circle the legs away from each other. Yeah, so they're going in opposite directions. So we're pushing out and then we're bringing them together. So I'm going to show you from a couple of different angles. So just keep that going. So upper body's relaxed. So we're going out and around. Just trying to move into the hips, the groin area. Okay, change the direction. So just push the other way. If you're going clockwise, you're going anti-clockwise, vice versa. Okay, and then give the legs a little hug, but grab the backs of the knees and start to let the knees come a little wider. So drawing the knees towards the armpits now. Lower legs are just relaxed up. If you can clasp. Just rest here for a moment or two. Your back body, your mid-back, ribs, shoulders should be really flat and heavy to the ground. The smaller your back is probably going to be off the floor at this point. That's fine. You're going to really struggle to keep that connected with the ground. But just feel that you're heavy, relax into it. If it's easy, we're going to grab either our shins or our feet, draw out a little wider, start to pull the knees into the armpits. And just breathe big. Okay, if this is challenging enough, you're going to hold it here. If it's quite easy, we're going to get a very gentle rocking movement going just from left to right. So you're kind of shifting the weight a couple of inches either side of your spine. If it's really easy, if you've got balance and you feel safe, you're going to try and rock right to the outer edges of your body. So kind of moving across the ribs. It does take quite a lot of balance though, so don't go too quickly or too vigorously on this, otherwise the momentum of the movement is just going to topple you onto your side. So we want to feel that we're controlling this. Okay, and then come back to centre, bring your feet together, let your knees rotate out and just relax the back. Okay, take a few easy breaths. Okay, pushing with the elbows if you want to go a little deeper. So we're now feeling this inner thighs, groins. We're going to drop the feet to the ground, but stay in your cobbler's pose. So knees are still tipping away. Have a little fidget, find your natural curve for your lower back, and then just let your legs become a little heavier. So moving on to shoulders, take a breath, sweep your arms back. Just stretch here for a moment, draw your ribs up from your hips. Okay, we're going to press the palms of the hands together, draw the hands down towards the chest, towards the belly, and then roll out and sweep back. Okay, and just keep this moving through the shoulders. So nice, easy circles. If you've got any shoulder issues, your arms might be a little higher. That's absolutely fine. If you feel comfortable with it, we're trying to connect with the floor, sweep all the way back and then draw down. Change the direction. From the chest, we're going to push back behind the head first, then open out and come down. Okay, keep your arms out to the side now. Just let your shoulders rest quite heavy. Okay, we're going to flatten our back to the floor and we're going to bring our knees together. Okay, so knees and feet touching. Start to just roll left to right. Okay, see how far they'll go. If they'll go all the way to the ground, great. If not, don't force it. And we're trying to kind of tip to the outer edges of the feet, whilst keeping our shoulders flat to the ground or close to the ground. Okay, come back to centre, step your feet wide, brace your knees in, pull your tummy in, lower back sinks to the ground. So we've now got this wide position with our feet, but our knees and thighs are tipping inwards. Hands come up. To start with, just work your wrists, just roll the hands loose. Fold the hands forwards and back. And then clasp, push the knuckles up, do a little circular motion, trying to move into your mid-back. Play with that movement, take it around as far as you can. Change the direction. Okay, come back to centre, keep your arms straight, lift up through the shoulders, and we're going to gently rock from right to left. So we're twisting from your ribs up to the top of the head. Your head is rolling from side to side. If that feels okay, you're working on what range you've got here. So we're trying to go right across whilst keeping the lower body still. And remember all this movement mobility where we're moving from one side to the other or opening and closing, you're finding a pace that's comfortable for you. So if you want to go a little bit slower on this, yeah, that's absolutely fine. All I'd say is the quicker you go, the more kind of force, acceleration and deceleration force we're putting through the body. So it gives you a bit more of a jarring effect. So slow is generally safer if you have got any injuries, etc. Go slow first. It's a little bit harder to move slowly, takes more muscle control, but that's a good thing because those muscles are going to be working. And we do want to challenge ourselves. We want to make sure that we're pushing to the point where we're challenging the body. Otherwise, we're not going to get any gain from it. Right, come back to centre. Just flop your arms down for a moment. Okay, stretch your legs and give them another bounce. Just shake them loose. Right, and then bring your feet back up, but step them outside your mat. We're just going to work hips. So rock up onto the back of the heel. Left leg falls in, right leg falls out. Just get your feet just gently rocking from side to side. So keep that moving. I'm just checking that I'm still on screen here. Yes, hopefully you can still see me. So just rocking and rolling this. You never know with live streams whether the live stream is finished and I'm talking to an empty room, so I'm going to keep checking on you. But do send me messages, yeah? If the sound disappears or anything like that, send me messages because I will keep checking the screen. Right, and then keep both legs falling over to your left side. Have a little bit of a fidget. Readjust upper back so that it's flat to the floor. We're going to work just on stretching through this right side. So your right arm is just going to gently reach out the back of your mat. So try to feel it in your right pecs, your rib cage, outer hip, thigh. If it's really easy, you're imagining your right kneecap, which are kind of pushing it towards the bottom of our mat whilst we reach our right fingers to the far back right corner of your mat. Your right shoulder blade should feel like it's hugging you. Your right buttock muscle is gently squeezing and tipping your pelvis up slightly. So we're just increasing that stretch all the way down our right side. Just hold it for a couple of breaths. Okay, changing sides gently. So relax your right arm, lift the legs. Both legs are now going to flop to the right. Have a fidget, get comfortable. So imagine your left buttock muscle is tipping your pelvis slightly. You're trying to reach your left kneecap towards the bottom of your mat. And then you're just gently stretching your left arm out the top left corner. Feeling that stretch all the way down this side. Hold it and breathe. Okay, come back to centre. Draw your legs in, give them a little hug. Coming up to a seated position so you can either roll to your right side, use your arms, push up gently, or squeeze your bum, lift the head slightly and just roll yourself up through your spine. Sitting cross-legged if that's comfortable. If it's not, you can go wide-legged, but do try your cross-leg position. You know, I appreciate for some people it's knees that just might not allow this deep flexion. So you can go a wider angle. You could just cross your ankles in front and just feel that you're sitting yourself nice and upright. But we just want to try and feel that we've got our weight balanced evenly on our sit bones. We're lifting the chest away from the belly button and we're pulling our shoulders away from our ears. We're going to work through our neck mobility. So from your neutral, your cheeks feel as if they're above your collarbones. Work through flexion, chin to chest, extension, tip the head back. Okay, come back to neutral. Gently twist, left to right. Okay, come back to neutral. Ear to shoulder, left to right. Okay, squeeze your shoulders back. Let your head drop and move across the chest. Chin goes from collarbone to collarbone. Okay, back to neutral. Just roll your shoulders back a few times. Feel that you're moving your shoulder blades as well. Okay, and then the shoulders become heavy. We're going to drop the head, nose points to armpit. Arms are just resting comfortably. If you need them to support your back, you can just gently hold, but try and engage your core muscles. Try and feel that you're pushing the head up to the ceiling. Or we're lengthening up through the spine rather. Just want to feel that nice tall extension. Okay, changing sides. So we drop chin to chest, but we've got this really lifted feeling. Okay, back to neutral. So staying with your extension. So we want to feel that we're nice and upright. We're drawing in from the front. Body is lifted. We're going to just do a little bit of easy twisting work. So just keep it moving to start with, but your left hand comes to your right knee. Your right hand goes around the back. And then we gently change. Okay, so we're just easing into this really gently. Okay, and then come back to centre. Make sure that your weight's a little bit forwards on the sit bones. Lift the body up. And as we exhale, we're going to start to just tip forwards. Okay, plant the hands. Now to start with, try and keep that extension. So we're getting the movement forwards by really rocking onto the front of the sit bones and feeling that we're tipping out the front of our bucket. Then if you're comfortable, we're going to start to walk a little bit further out. And then when you can't go any further with your back in extension, that's when you can let the body drop, let the head hang. But feel that you're pushing your sit bones back into the floor behind you. So as well as flexing, we are flexing the spine here, but we're trying to create length through it. We're not just kind of compressing and folding everything down. We're trying to lengthen and extend and then relax into it. Okay, walk yourself back up. Sit yourself up tall again. Easy twist. Left hand's going to grab right knee. Right hand goes around the back, wringing out the whole of your spine. It's really easy. You can pull with your left arm into the twist. You can push with your right arm to grow taller. Okay, one more good breath. And then just release, changing sides. So take a good breath in, sit tall, open to the left. Trying to feel that your shoulders are level. We can have a tendency sometimes in twisting poses, we don't realise we're doing it, but we lean. So visualise that plumb line from the ceiling through your crown straight to your tailbone. We want to try and keep upright if we can. The body just twists so much easier if we're extended, if we're nice and upright. Okay, back to centre. Okay, before we do some lateral stretching, I'm just going to mobilise laterally. So you can do this wide base if you prefer. But to start with, just literally rock from sit bone to sit bone. Okay, and then come to centre, take a good breath in. Arms are going to swoop up. We're going to bring the hands together and just rest the hands into the nape of the neck. Shrug your shoulders away from your ears. Super glue your bum to the floor now. So we don't want to rock the hips if we can help it. We're just going to lean, elbow towards knee, left and right. And your range you might feel like you're only going an inch or two. Remember, if you've got quite a long spine, it's going to look like you're not going very far because you've got further to reach, haven't you, if you think about the distance that we're moving. So don't worry about, how close to the floor you get. Just trying to feel this feeling of lengthening through the sidelines. We're laterally flexing. Having said that, if it's dead easy and you're going to start to move a little bit further down, maybe taking the elbow towards the floor as far as you can go. Coming back through centre every time. Okay, and then back to the middle. Take your right hand alongside you with your elbow bending away from you. Keep your chest squared up, and we're going to come just into a little lateral stretch. So my right hand is supporting me. I'm trying to keep tall. My left arm's going to come up and over. My palm faces in, and I'm just drawing my left arm up and across. So I'm feeling the stretch all the way down this left side, waist, lower back, ribs, shoulder. I'm using my right hand to keep this a little bit open, so I'm not just collapsing into my right waist. So I feel that I'm lifting it up and over. Chest is away from belly button, so I've got that nice extension. And my left buttock muscle, I'm still pushing that to the floor. The tendency can sometimes be to feel like you want to roll onto your right hip, so you want to keep that left hip down. If it's easy, you're going to rotate the head, look up to the ceiling. Otherwise, just keep your chin tucked. 2 or 3 big breaths. And it's a movement that we don't do an awful lot of, lateral flexion, but the spine is designed to do it. And it's an area where if we don't stretch, regularly, if we don't include it with all our other movements, our planes of movement, it can start to cause problems. It can tighten up those muscles, which will have a knock-on effect. So just changing sides. Left hand's going to come down. Right arm reaches up and over. Okay, open the chest, hold it and breathe. Okay, 2 or 3 good breaths. Okay, sweep up and come back to centre. Stretch both legs out in front. Give them a little shake. Sit with your weight forwards on your sit bones. And again, just grow nice and tall. Shoulders roll back. Okay, taking it into a gentle back extension then. So we want to feel that we're lifting up, but we're going to place the hands behind. Upper arms roll back, elbows tuck in. If you need to, you can rotate the hand to get more comfort, as long as you're symmetrical left and right side. Now, tip slightly out the back of your bucket first. We don't want to overarch the lower back, otherwise it's just going to feel horrible. So you're squeezing glutes gently and you're just tipping out the back of the bucket, and then feel that you're lifting your ribs and you're leaning into the heel of the hand. Back of the neck stays open so we're not squashing the head to the shoulders. Draw your ribs up from your hips. 2 or 3 nice deep breaths. If this is dead easy, you're going to squeeze your glutes. Add some strength into it, a little bit of weight bearing. So we're pushing into our heels if you're lifting the hips up. A little softness in the knee, don't let the knees lock out. Okay, as you come out, lift your head first, lower your hips, walk yourself upright. So weight's going to tip to the front of the sit bones. We're going to step the feet outside the mat. I'm just going to let the body slump. Okay, so drop the head, drop the arms, just let the body collapse into that space in front of you. It should feel really nice to do this. Okay, and then come slowly back up to your seated position. Stretch your legs loose. Right, moving into a box position then. So come round over onto hands and knees. And we're going to do a little bit of circular motion to start with today. So think of your back being supported from underneath. So we're engaging pelvic floor, abs. Imagine your front ribs are hugging your back ribs. The muscles across the breastplate, the chest, are hugging your mid-back and upper back. And we've got a slight softness in our elbows. And all we're going to do, we're just going to start by rocking forwards and back. Okay, and then come back to centre and just shift your weight from left to right. Okay, now think of those 4 points of movement, yeah? Forwards and back, left and right. We're going to connect them together. So we're going to kind of shift the weight forwards. Then we're going to move to the right. We're going to shift the weight back, move to the left. So we're just doing like a little circular motion, trying to keep the back fairly flat as you roll through this. It's actually quite good for shoulders, wrists, as well, a little bit of rotation into those joints. But make it as big or as small as you want. So your circle might be tiny. You might just be, going around 6 inches, or you might be able to come right through, pushing the chest beyond the hands, pushing the hips back to the heels. Find what feels comfortable. Once you've done a few, we're going to reverse it. So you're just taking it around the opposite direction. Okay, and then come back to centre. Round and release, flexion to extension through your cat and dog. So we arch up and then we extend out. Okay, come back to neutral and we're going to do a little lateral mobility now. So we're just going to walk around to our right side. So what you're feeling now is you're shortening that distance between your right ribs and your right hip, but you're lengthening the distance between your left hips and your left hip. And then we just walk around and we change sides. So our hips are staying pretty still. They stay just seated above our knees, but we're just moving this from left to right. So just keep that going, work at your own pace. I'm just going to show you from a couple of different angles. So I'm just walking around to my right, back through centre, walk it around to my left, keeping my back fairly flat the whole time. Okay, and then back to centre. Round up, sit back to your child pose now, hips to heels. Arms are reaching forwards. Just drop the head, broaden your shoulders away from your ears. Okay, keep pushing your hips back. Lift the head and chest, look forwards. We're going to walk both of our arms around to our left side and reach the right arm a little bit further forwards, and then rest the head again, come back onto the forehead. So you should feel a deep stretch. So our hips are pushing back towards our heels. We've kind of flexed laterally we're still trying to keep our chest squared up to the ground. So as we've walked across, we're not twisting, yeah? We're trying to feel that we've walked across, keeping our chest facing the floor. So it's more of a lateral stretch than a rotation. Okay, come back through centre, changing size, so you're walking around to your right. So you're pushing your left hip back, your left arm actively reaches forwards, head rests comfortably. Try and square up your chest as much as you comfortably can, and just hold that for a good breath or two. Feeling that your tailbone is still tucking underneath, so we've got this little pelvic tilt going on. Okay, come back to centre. Keep your head down, but fold your arms back into embryo pose and just let your mid upper back kind of slump. Okay, from here, come back up into your box position. Just come to hands and knees. Right, a little bit of strength work now. So we're going to do a simple box balance, but I'm going to include some moving options for those of you that are finding it quite easy, just to give you a little bit more of a challenge. But remember, it's about smooth movement, control. Keep your shoulders away from your ears, abs are engaged. First breath, we're going to push our left leg back, lift and push out through our left heel. Left hand firmly plants. Next breath, we bring our right arm and we reach and extend it forwards and up. So trying to feel that we're still evenly weight between our front hand and our back knee. Our shoulders are away from our neck and we're lifting and supporting from underneath. Hip bones pointing to the floor if possible. You should feel that left glute really work. Muscles around the right shoulder. Now, if this is quite challenging, you're just going to hold this. Come out and rest when you need to. If it's easy, we're going to add movement. So we're going to bend and extend our elbow and our knee. So you're bringing your hand towards your head and your heel towards your bum. And extending out. Okay, come back to centre. Changing sides. So take your time. Right leg's going to push back, square up the hips. Left arm's going to extend forwards. Hold it and breathe. If you feel like you're challenging yourself enough here, you're just going to hold it static. If it's too easy, bend and extend. Okay, come back to your box position. Okay, just round up. Now we're going to come down onto our tummies from here. So take your time, roll your body forwards, lower to the floor. As soon as your chest hits the ground, tuck your arms in, give your hips a little shake from left to right. Pull your tummy in, push your pubic bone down into the floor. And we're going to come through easy cobra. So squeeze your bum, hands come forwards. Push up off your elbows, your forearms, but really keeping that tucked tail position, yeah? So your belly button draws in, your pubic bone is down, you're lifting up through your ribs and your chest. Hand position, comfortably braced, making sure that you've got even weight, left and right side. Okay, neutral neck. From here, we're going to add calves, so we're going to tuck the toes, push back into the heels, just see if you can lift your kneecaps off the ground. Okay, lift the chest, push the elbows into the floor, turn to look over your right shoulder, see if you can spot your right heels behind you. Nice little twist. Okay, changing sides, looking over your left shoulder. Okay, come back to centre, point the feet away, lower to the floor. Arms tuck in, relax your shoulders, just hold it and breathe. Right, drawing your belly in now. We're just going to do a little bit more strength work. So we want to get these glute muscles working for this one. So we're going to do straight foot presses up to the ceiling. So we bend the knee and we try and have a straight line from our heel to our knee. So we don't want the feet too close. We don't want them too far. We want to kind of get that vertical line. Get how much you can put your hands underneath your hip bones. Really pull the tummy and push the pubic bone down and just start to lift and lower the heels one at a time. So you're pushing up and lower into the floor. And as you're doing this, you should feel it mainly in your bum. Yeah, that's the muscle that should be doing most of the effort here. If you're really feeling it in your lower back, just try engaging your abs a bit more. If you feel it in your hamstrings, you can maybe change the angle slightly in the knee. Okay, but just keep that going, pressing up. It's dead easy. You try to push as high as you can and then lower controlled. So we're driving the heel up, coming down. Okay, let your legs drop to the floor. Give your hips a bit of a shake. Arms are going to come alongside now. We're going to do arms on their own, but we're going to lift with straight arms. So have your back of your hand on the ground, so your palms are facing up, so your thumbs are pointing in towards your thighs. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. Head stays neutral, so you can either lift the head and just gently tuck, so your nose points to the floor, or you can rest on your chin. As long as you're not doing this, yeah, and pulling your head all the way back. But think shoulders roll back, we lift the arms, we float them back towards the feet. Just wiggle the fingers. You're trying to feel it across your mid upper back. If this is easy, we're going to press and lower. If that feels too intense, you're just going to hold it still, just lifting and holding back. Okay, now rotate your arms forward. Start to reach out the front corners of your mat, but soften your elbows. Palms are now facing the floor to begin with. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. Now tip your hands outwards. So the palm of the hand is facing in, your thumbs are on top, and your back hand, the back of your hand is on the outside of the body. We're going to do just little lifts through mid-back again. So slowly and gently lift and place, lift and place. Okay, and just keep that going, find a pace. Now you may really struggle to even get your hands off the floor, that's fine, as long as you're creating that feeling of drawing up. Those muscles are still going to be working in your mid-back. So trying to get this feeling of drawing up and coming down. Both shoulders working evenly. Checking that the shoulder doesn't elevate up towards your neck, we want to keep it down. So we're targeting the muscles kind of in this upper mid-back area. So we squeeze and we relax, squeeze and relax. Okay, and then this one we're going to lift and hold it there, dragging your shoulders down into your back ribs, keeping the back of the neck long. 2 big breaths if you can. And then completely relax your arms, fold them back in, let your shoulders tip forwards, shake out your hips, easy breaths. Okay, little hip flexor stretch now then. So we're going to do single foot to bum. If you're really comfortable with this, I'm going to give the option of coming up into an easy cobra as well, just to make it a bit more challenging. But to start with, we'll all do the same. We're going to reach back, grab our right foot with our right hand and bring your heel towards your bum. Push your hip into the floor, pull your belly button in towards the small of your back and really push your pubic bone into the floor as well. If that's dead easy, you can grab the foot with both hands. See if you can pull your knee and thigh away from the mat. Okay, another option of this is to lift the head and chest. You're going to bring your left arm in front. You're just going to start to draw your body up slightly. But the key with this back extension, hip flexor work, is to try and keep your pelvis tipping slightly back. We don't want to compress and arch our lumbar, our lower back too much. Okay, release the body to the ground, change your legs. So left foot's going to come in. Grab your ankle, your trousers. Heel comes towards the bum. Either hold that, you can do two hands. If it's too easy, you're going to bring your right arm in front, lift the chest. Okay, and then release, drop that leg. Okay, shoulders roll back. Right, coming into bow pose then. So this is quite a challenging pose. It's a deep stretch for the front line of the body, great strengthener for the back line. So do as much of this as you comfortably can. Go a little wider, maybe step your feet a bit further out first, and then bring both feet in this time. Glutes really strong, so squeeze your bum, push your pubic bone down, grab hold of your ankles, your trousers. You can use a yoga strap. If you can, you're grabbing your ankle and then pointing your toes away from your bum. So we've just created a little handle to hold on to. So first lift, I'm squeezing my mid-back muscles. I'm starting to open my chest as I roll my shoulders back. I'm going to take a big breath in. And I'm going to start to lift my upper body. Just peeling it up off the floor. Then I'm going to start to push my feet away from my bum. So my legs are basically pulling my arms and helping to lift me and support me. And then finally, if you can, you're then trying to lift your knees and thighs up off the ground. So we're opening chest, stretching the front line. Just keep your gaze soft, don't let your head come up too high. Every exhale, you're trying to get a little bit more of your front body off the ground, whether it's your upper or your lower body. Okay, and completely relax. Let everything just melt into the floor. Shake out your hips. Right, just coming into a low plank then. We're just going to do a little bit of strength work and then we'll come up to standing. So take your time on this. Hands come forwards. Push up to your easy cobra first. So we're propped up. We've got our elbows under our shoulders. Shoulders are engaged. Lifting the chest up. Tuck your toes. Push back into the heels. So initiate the movement from the upper body. Pull your breastplate into your mid-back. Pull your ribs into your front ribs into your back ribs. Pull your belly button into the small of your back. Lift. Really roll the hips under and then get that extension. Feel that you're pushing your heels and your tailbone to the back of your mat, crown of your head to the front of the mat. Nose should be pointing to the floor. Hold it and breathe. Shoulders directly above your elbows. Okay, drop the knees. Lower back to the ground, hands move up. We're going to come up through a box position. So move to hands and knees first. Just flex the spine. Tuck your toes, take your feet wide. Hands come to knees. Push the floor away, start to move into your squat position. If you can get your heels all the way to the ground, brilliant. If you can't, don't force it, especially if it's going to make you feel that you're losing your balance. You can always use supports. Remember, wedges underneath the heels or bricks. Or just using the hands behind sometimes to give you that sense of balance. We're trying to get upright, lift the head and chest up. If you can, you're using your elbows to push the knees a little wider. Look at the foot position. Legs and feet should be symmetrical. You're mirroring your left and right side. And we want to feel that we've got even weight in our foot from inner edge to outer edge. Okay, from your squat forward fold, two options. Support the back if you need to, flat back fold. If you're comfortable, let the body just hang. Soften the knees, squeeze the glutes, come all the way up to standing, shake everything loose. Right, do grab a quick drink if you need one. So we've got about another 10-15 minutes left. So I'm going to go through a little bit of standing work. So I'm just having a quick look at the screen, see if anyone sent me a request for anything. No, okay, we're good, right. A little bit of standing work. We'll do some more lateral stretching, some lateral flexion, a bit of standing mobility. We'll just whiz through a couple of warrior poses, just so we've had that big stretch. And then we'll finish off with a bit more abdominal work. So, starting off, hip width base, just nice easy base. Spread your toes. Get nice extension through the spine. Arms in a drop. Okay, feel that you're heavy. Okay, and then from here, we're just going to start by very gently gliding. So you're kind of letting your fingers just slide down your outer thigh. Now, if this is quite intense, if you feel there's you've got a lot of restriction here, or you've got any back issues, you're just going to keep going with this. If this is dead easy, we're going to start to reach the arms up. Palms are facing in, we're lifting it up as if we're trying to pull our upper body away from our lower body. We're pushing down into our feet, and we're just going to start to gently flex from left to right. So my fingers are reaching up and across. So you can't see because I've gone off the screen here. So I'm just going to drop down to a kneeling base so you can see what my arms are doing. But as I'm lifting up, so as I lean to my right, my left arm is just drawing a little bit further up and across. As I lean to my left, my right arm. So I'm really getting this feeling of pulling and lengthening all the way through my side. But keep your feet heavy. Try not to let your hips sway. Yeah, so hips are staying fairly centered. So we're kind of drawing up and over through our upper body rather than just swaying through our lower body. Okay, and then relax your arms down, shake your arms loose. Right, so warrior one then. Take a base at the front of your mat, abs are engaged. Take your time, deep breath in, right leg, we're going to stride it back. Square up your hips, have a little fidget, just sinking into that lower body a few times, and then hold it here. Pelvis is upright, big breath in, arms come up. Press the hands together, interlace the fingers, squeezing the shoulders back and down. Okay, feel that connection with each foot. So remember, if you can't get your back heel down, that's a lot to do with ankle joints. You can do this off the ball of the foot, pushing back. You can rotate that foot outwards. But we're trying to keep our hips squaring forwards. So you can also step that back leg a little wider if you need to. If you've got quite broad hips or a lot of tension there, you may need to step it wider. Checking that your front knee doesn't track beyond your toes. So we want a vertical line. Okay, now lift and rotate, so your right foot's going to turn out. We're going to turn the body and open to warrior two. Open the chest, shoulders are low. Push out through the fingers, still keeping that even length through our waist. Okay, palms come up, center. While we're in the middle, we're just going to do a quick fold, so deep breath in, exhale. Easy version, just drop to the thighs, support the back. If you're comfortable, we're going to drop down, maybe grab the floor. Let your body hang. Okay, squeeze your glutes, roll it all the way back up. We're just going to turn to the back of our mat then, so we'll come through warrior two. Right leg is going to rotate out. Bend your knee, open your arms. Shoulders away from ears. Hold and breathe. Okay, and then rotate back to the back of your mat. So warrior one, left leg rolls through now, square up the hips. Right knee bends. Okay, lift, rotate back to warrior two, left side. Hold it. 2, 3 good breaths. Sinking a little deeper, maybe widening your base. Keep your bucket upright. Okay, hands come up straight over to warrior two. Left leg turns out. Okay, and then finally rotate it all the way through. So warrior one, facing the front of our mat again. Palms come together, lift, open the chest. Release your arms. Right leg comes in, shake everything loose. Okay, drop it down to the ground then. So we're just going to finish with a little bit of abdominal work. So come down slow. If you can, try and get to the floor without using your hands. Doesn't matter how you do it. We're just trying not to put the hands to the floor. Hug your knees in. Feel your back just become very heavy. And we're just going to finish with bug pose. So it's just alternate arm to leg work. We will do some doubles as well. But the key with this is to really keep that connection with the whole of your back. Flat to the ground. So we're engaging abs, we're lifting pelvic floor. We're going to start with our knees above our hips with our lower leg just soft. And our arms are reaching up to the ceiling. Palms are facing about shoulder width. Take your time. Slow and smooth. Left leg is going to straighten down. Right arm is going to reach back. So we extend. And we come back to centre. Changing sides. So left arm goes back, right leg reaches down. And while we're doing this, we're trying not to let our lower back come off the ground or any of our back. We want to keep that connection there the whole time. So that's your kind of fairly easy level. If that's too easy, we're going to extend the legs straight up to the ceiling. So straight, long levers makes it a little bit harder. Still keeping that smooth, steady pace. Imagine you're pushing all the way out to the floor. You're pulling slowly back in to centre. Okay, so just keep that alternating left to right. Breathe in however you want, as long as you're not holding your breath, that's great. It's so easy to hold your breath, isn't it? Sometimes we just take big breath in and think, right, just hold my breath, close my eyes, wait for it all to be finished. But that just instantly is going to make your muscles tighten because your brain will start to panic. And it also is going to make your muscles tire a lot quicker. So try and get a rhythm of breathing. Sometimes focusing on the breathing can help as well. If we focus on breathing rather than focusing on the discomfort that we might be feeling, you can often get a few more reps as well. Right, so again, if this is enough, you're just going to do a few more of these on either side. If it feels easy, we're going to finish with some doubles. So you might be here, lower legs down, both arms, both legs, or extra hard, straight legs, both arms, so we extend. And we slowly come back up. Okay, and just see if you can do a few of these. So again, the key is not to let the body get too quick. You know, it might feel easy to do that, but you're jarring the back, putting all this effort into your joints, your tendons, your ligaments. We want to work the muscles, so we want to go slow. Really challenge your muscles to control the movement. It's dead easy to speed things up. It looks like it's more, more effective when we're doing things quicker because your heart rate goes up, you start sweating, but you're not necessarily working the muscles any harder. Slow is much safer, much more effective. And if you can't do it slow, you shouldn't do it quick anyway. You should get to the point where you can do these movements really well, slow and controlled. Then if you wanted to, just for that, that buzz, if you like, of moving quick, getting your heart rate beating, then you could go quick. But always learn to do the movement slow and controlled first before you're tempted to speed them up. Okay, give your legs a hug up this time. Just relax your back. We'll just finish with a real easy twist. So drop your feet, open your arms, sink your shoulders to the ground, take a big breath in. Exhale, both legs flop to the left. Turn the head, look to the right. Relax your shoulders. Okay, changing sides, head comes up first, we lift the legs, let them flop over to your right. Relax your left arm. Okay, inhale, come back up. Drop your arms, drop your legs. Have a little fidget, just get comfortable. So if you want, you can do this, especially if you're doing this with me live now. Obviously it's 10 o'clock in the morning, we might not want to be too relaxed for the rest of the day. So prop your legs up either against the wall or prop them up on a chair or on the sofa. That will just give you a bit of an energising finish for the session. Yeah, it will push that oxygen up into the brain. It will stimulate your thyroid, your metabolism. So that's another option. Otherwise, we're just going to relax into whatever position is comfortable. And we're going to do a little bit of progressive relaxation, which is a great tool for people that find it hard to relax. So if you're the sort of person that's normally in a yoga class and everyone else looks like they're really relaxed and you're just lying there wide awake, feeling quite tense and wondering how much longer you've got to be there for, progressive relaxation can be a useful thing because it's kind of overriding that tension. And all we're going to do is just purposely clench and let go of the body. And we're just going to work all the way around the body from top to bottom, individual bits, and then we'll do the whole body together. And then we'll just imagine that we're playing over that feeling of releasing. So close your eyes, just notice how you feel at the moment. Just feel the connection with your body on the floor, how heavy you feel, how much tension you feel that you're still carrying in the muscles. And we're going to start just with feet. So scrunch up your toes and then relax them. And just feel them soften, maybe wiggle them gently. Okay, now move up to your ankles. I want you to flex your feet towards you. So you're feeling tension around your ankles and your calves. Now lock out your knee, straighten the back of your knees if you push it to the floor. So we feel that tension from our ankle through our lower leg up to our knee joint. And then soften it and shake your feet. Give your knees bounce. Okay, now focus from your knee to your hips. So we're going to pull our kneecaps up and we're going to clench our thighs. Now include your bum, squeeze your bum, lift your pelvic floor. So we've got this feeling of clenching or tightening from our hips to our kneecap. Hold it for a moment, squeeze all those muscles as if you're hugging your lower body. And then drop them and give them a little shake. Wiggle your hips. Okay, torso, trunk of the body, abs are engaged, pelvic floor is lifted. Take a breath in as you exhale, feel your ribs hug you. Feel this tension all around your mid-back, your side, your front. And let it go. Wiggle your body. Just take a few easy breaths into the belly. Okay, arms, we're going to bend the elbows, make a fist, clench your hands. Relax it, wiggle your fingers. Okay, now clench the hands again, but I want you to feel that tension is now spreading from your wrist joint, your elbow joint, all the way up to the top of your shoulders. So we're kind of clenching our forearms, our biceps, our triceps. You can even brace your arms into the floor if that helps you to get that feeling of tension. And then tense across your shoulders, squeeze your shoulder blades, feel the muscles across your chest tighten. Big breath in, exhale, release it, shake your arms, hands are floppy, wriggle your shoulder blades, and just let your body go heavy and soft. Okay, face, tighten your face, scrunch, frown your forehead, tighten your jaw, scrunch up your eyes, your nose. Exhale, relax it. Do the opposite. So keep your eyes closed, but lift your eyebrows. Feel your forehead moving up and back. Open your mouth really wide for a few seconds. Feel that stretch around your cheeks, your mouth, your jaw. And then let it go. Relax the face. So all those bits that we've just done on their own, we're going to do the whole lot in one go. We're going to do it twice. And as you exhale, that feeling of releasing, of kind of everything softening, I want you to really lock that in to your mind because we're going to carry on doing that without the clenching bit. But we'll do the clenching bit first. So big breath in. Exhale, clench and squeeze everything. Feet, hands, legs, bum, pelvic floor, body, chest, face. Let it go. Okay, so doing that again, but this time really think about the feeling when you let it go. Just kind of lock onto that feeling. So deep breath in. Exhale, clench everything. Face, arms, legs, bum, toes. Let it go. We're going to take about a minute, breathing easy, but every time you exhale, I want you to imagine you're still letting go. You're still feeling those muscles drop. And what you should hopefully feel is that your body feels softer and the back of your body should start to feel like it's just sinking into the ground. So we'll just take a minute. You're using your own imagination, that kind of feeling of releasing the muscles, the soft tissues. Every time you exhale, visualize your body start to melt. Okay, very gently, just start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Swallow to relax the throat. Open your eyes. Take a big breath in and you're going to sweep your arms straight back and start to lengthen. Make yourself 6 inches longer. Push out through the heels, reach back through the shoulders. Drop your arms. Bend your knees, walk your feet up. Hug your knees up. And just, again, gently massage your lower back. Coming onto your right side, so take your time. Tip over slowly. Use your hands and just push yourself up very gently. Okay, we'll finish with a couple of good breaths. So inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale and release. And again, big inhale, reach up. Brilliant, guys. Thank you very much. Namaste. I hope you've enjoyed the session. Have a lovely weekend and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Take care, guys.